My hope for the residents here is that they're able to get stabilized, catch their breath, and then get everything pulled together that they need to move on into housing where they'll be able to live and be and exist for the rest of their lives and never re-enter homelessness. That's always the hope of projects like this.
The first stop is a place like this. Sometimes it's a shelter, sometimes it's other types of housing. But getting off the streets is a huge first step. Being on the streets homeless is very traumatic. It becomes a way of life, kind of a pathological way of life, because it's not the way that people are supposed to live. So getting into a safe place, a place where they can have privacy, a place where they can have quiet, a place where they can have safety, is the first step in healing.
We want people to have their dignity back. Even if they're going through a hard time, we want them to feel treated like human, and this place will provide it.
It's more than just the City of Rohnert Park. It's a lot of people coming together, but the City of Rohnert Park led this, and I'm so proud of them. I'm really proud to be part of that, the city that did that. It's fantastic.
There are too many people without access to housing, and that creates all kinds of other problems. It disturbs their ability to get employed. Some of them need health care, some of them need mental health. They need services that should be available. And if we have places like this throughout the country, those needs will be addressed a lot quicker.
But the interim housing is kind of, in a way, it's kind of a sorting mechanism. It's a time when people can come in and get stabilized, and then you can help figure out what is the next step. If people are languishing on the streets for years, the chances that they're going to be able to work through those issues when they finally get into housing have dramatically diminished. There's no reason we can't solve this. We're just not thinking about it hard enough.
It's just an issue everywhere. We do have sometimes people say, gosh, there's more homelessness than there used to be in Rohnert Park, and that's absolutely the case, but there's more homeless everywhere. It's really kind of a societal issue. It's particularly acute in California. The high price of housing, the lack of mental health services, how our state has done reforms related to drug possession. We used to be able to actually get people into treatment programs through negotiated agreements, and we don't have that ability anymore. So there's a lot of things that are way beyond what a city has jurisdiction over that are contributing to the homeless issue, but we're trying to find solutions to it nonetheless.
I live in the fire country. I know a lot of people that lost their homes and had no place to go, and with the devastation of losing their homes, they also lost their jobs, some of them. They just couldn't make it to work. They didn't have, they lost their cars, they lost everything. So it's not always the people that just have given up, it's people that have, been through bad situations.
That is not really dirt, that's rocks. Which we had to import, by the way.
I'm so excited, and this is like a part of a core thing. I am too excited to the point where my entire body is reacting, and it's a good thing. Hi everybody. I am proud to serve as Rohnert Park Mayor. Well, most of you know me, I'm Jackie Elward. Thank you so much for coming to this groundbreaking ceremony for the city's first interim housing project.
As we break ground here today, I hope that we all think about the people who will very soon call this area home, and the people who will come to this space, and because of what this space will provide them, they will see a path forward that they have not seen before. And they will walk this ground knowing that it is only temporary and that they will soon be walking into their own permanent housing.
I'm so excited that we are groundbreaking today for a 60-unit interim housing project for people experiencing homelessness in this area. So what this site is going to be, right now it's an empty site that's owned by the city. It's going to be filled with modular units, and it's going to be one room for each person. So interim housing, unlike emergency shelter where you got a bunk bed and you're in a room with maybe 100 other people, you actually get a room to yourself. So you have room for yourself, for your stuff, And most importantly for a lot of people, their pets. They're able to bring their animals with them. So it's a program that really meets people where they're at, and ensures that we're able to serve folks that may not otherwise accept temporary housing.
The prefabricated buildings, the factories are able to produce them relatively quick. There's 16 residential buildings, there's 60 units, and then we have the 4 buildings that are the community building, the office building, the restroom and shower building, and then a laundry building. That's the one thing that makes these other units go so much faster is we don't have all of the utilities, the wet utilities, water, plumbing, everything going to each individual building. It's just one location. Our goal is October 24th for 90% completion. We're going to go beyond that. Just we have some challenges with power, and we had with COVID materials issues. So these buildings are not showing up when we expected them. So there is a little bit of delay with the buildings. We have been here, with the exception of last Sunday, with the rainstorm, we've been here 7 days a week, 10, 12 hours a day, trying to make this project happen. We can pull the site together pretty fast, getting the utilities in, working with PG&E for power and street utilities. We're able to get in here and knock these things out. I believe we're going to finish this project in just over 4 months.
It's incredible. They weren't able to start the construction on here until early July because there was a nesting bird that we weren't able to disturb. And I'm thinking the longer that bird's nesting, we're going to clock up against this 8-month goal. And they were able to start in, I think, July 6th. And 3.5 months, they got this project built. Really, really incredible. And, I think it's a testament to the fact that this team really cares about the issue. And Gensler, our architect, has been incredible. And most of our, contractor, the consultants, everybody has just been so dedicated to this because they care so much. So that passion and dedication has really paid off. People, we were able to hustle and get it done.
Our general guiding principles, though, with the site as a whole, you can kind of see that there's really, the residential units are fairly orthogonal, but we wanted to vary it up a little bit. So these units are kind of running vertical while the units on the north are running horizontal. So orthogonal gives you a lot of space savings and, especially with a compact site like this, but we wanted to vary it up a little bit as well. And then we also wanted to have a lot of the units facing inward towards the site as well.
City Council approved the application October 12th. We applied October 15th. We got the award the very end of December, right before Christmas, and got the money 3 months later. So if you do the math here, it's October 23rd right now. We're opening October 24th. We literally submitted the application on October 15th last year. The project is now completed and people are moving in tomorrow, October 24th, only a little over a year later.
They built a beautiful facility. And they built it quickly. And it's also impressive from my view that the community rallied. Each one of these units have been sponsored by someone from the community, which means they came in, they bought the bedding, they bought the towels, the washcloths, the shampoo. Every one of these units is ready to go and sponsored by someone in the community.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the City of Rohnert Park, DignityMoves, and HomeFirst, I would like to welcome you to the ribbon cutting of Labath Landing. And I'd like to introduce you to Mayor Jackie Allard of the City of Rohnert Park.
I am so excited. So I am Jackie Allard, and I am proud to serve as mayor of the City of Rohnert Park. Thank you very much for coming to this ribbon cutting for the city's first interim housing project. I would like to open the floor to my fellow council members, and I will start with my vice mayor, Samantha Rodriguez.
Good afternoon, everybody. Can you guys hear me? Okay, great. Good afternoon. So today definitely marks a step forward in helping those experiencing homelessness in our community. And as you can see, if you've been able to tour, this will also help them achieve a life of dignity. They have their own space. It's ADA compliant, right? It looks beautiful. The lighting is great. I need these for my backyard. So some people seem to think we can simply move the homeless elsewhere, but that is not the case. With Labath Landing, we're taking humane steps and being financially responsible as well, instead of a lawsuit, thankfully, to staff. We're addressing the immediate concerns here and building a path to long-term solutions. I'm honored to be able to support the project now and in the future, and I want to thank everybody who helped make this happen, particularly the team from Swinnerton Builders, who for months have been working 12-hour days, 7 days a week. So I definitely salute all the employees with Swinnerton Builders, along with our city staff as well.
Because of their hard work, 60 people will be spending the winter months here instead of out in the cold. Our streets cannot be the waiting room. Our streets cannot be the waiting room for supportive housing. For those who would say we're not doing anything on homelessness, I disagree. We are taking on and solving the toughest problem in Sonoma County right now. Thank you to our community for your compassion and your patience, and to those experiencing homelessness. Finally, a special thank you to our neighbors, the Fairfield, Cambria, Parliament Brewing, and all the businesses close by. We are dedicated, committed, and to be good neighbors and good partners.
DignityMoves was founded based on the idea of interim supportive housing. We believe that people should have the privacy of their own room. People don't want to go to group shelters. People would prefer to be on the streets, quite frankly. And so when you have your own private room, you can lock the door and finally get out of survival mode and take a deep breath. That's when you can start thinking forward. And so it's about the room. That's what gets people willing to come in. But once they're here and they've calmed down, that's the opportunity to provide them with the intensive supportive services that HomeFirst is going to be providing here. And when we first started to apply for this project, one of the concerns was who's going to be doing the supportive services. And the local teams didn't have the capacity. And so I called my friend Andrea Urton, who is the CEO of HomeFirst in Silicon Valley, and said, what do you think about Sonoma? And she went to her board and got permission to do this and be here. And so thank you for taking the leap of faith and coming up here to partner with us on this project.
When I got that phone call, I was sitting on my couch with a glass of wine and my dog in my lap, having a lovely evening, and I had no idea 6 months later, 8 months later, we'd be here. I would like to start off by thanking DignityMoves for being the visionary for this. And also, we have worked with many cities, but Darren, Emily, Jenna, everyone has been so supportive. They have moved so quickly. They have been so flexible to meet needs. It is phenomenal. We are thrilled to be here and thrilled to be providing services. HomeFirst is one of the largest provider of services in Santa Clara County and beyond, and we're excited to bring that expertise here so that we can partner to end homelessness. We know it's possible, and it takes sites like this to do it. We're operating 4 in the city of San Jose right now. We were the first in the state, in conjunction with the city of San Jose, to open and operate a site like this. And they're extremely successful. 44% of the people living in sites that look like this go to permanent housing. That is huge. Only 13% of the people living in congregate shelters go to permanent housing. So that's a huge difference. Right now, the City of Rohnert Park has 369 unhoused individuals. We're going to take about 70 of them and put them here. So your homelessness crisis is now 25% better. So it's the determination of people like the City of Rohnert Park, DignityMoves, HomeFirst that makes things like this happen. We are so thrilled to have your support. We promise to our local business people we will be the best partners to you, to your community members. We will do everything we can to help keep this community safe, beautiful, and clean, because we know that's how we all want to live. And I would like a quick shout out to my staff, the HomeFirst people. Please raise your hand. Thank you, HomeFirst. We appreciate you. And now it is my great honor to introduce Congressman Mike Thompson.
Thank you, Andrea.
Andrea asked that I make sure everybody knows that on her couch drinking the wine, it was Sonoma County wine. Well, thank you for inviting me today. This is just a high honor to be able to be here to cut the ribbon for this amazing project. And it would not have happened had it not been for a lot of people. And we could go the rest of the day naming those folks, but just a shout out to some. Rohnert Park, the mayor, the council member, and the staff, stuff like this just doesn't happen. You've got to have the leadership, you have to have the vision, you have to have the drive, and you have to have the process for bringing this across the finish line. So this council, this mayor, and the staff folks really were major players. So thank you all very, very much. It was mentioned that IKEA supplied the furniture for the rooms. And I ran into Jennifer from IKEA, I don't know where, right here. And Jennifer's from Napa, and I live in Napa County, and she said, we really need something like this in Napa. Well, here's the secret. We need something like this in every city in the United States of America.
You know, this is like something that you usually do in like school, right? Where there are these large kind of projects that are more almost philanthropic in nature, and you know, trying to look at like ways to potentially use design to address issues in some capacity, right? So, you know, this is what students usually really want to work on and things like that. So, no, I feel incredibly fortunate to be, you know, a part of the team. And then working with DignityMoves and, you know, their CEO, Elizabeth Funk, it is inspiring just to be able to be a part of that kind of story and team and then these types of projects.
My father, unfortunately, had an undiagnosed mental illness. He could also be very volatile and violent. And by the time I was 15, my mother died when I was 9. And so by the time I was 15, our home was no longer safe for me. My close friends all had single mothers, and they would allow me to couch surf. And when I couldn't couch surf, I would sleep in my car. Over time, even though it was challenging, I was able to graduate with honors from high school to college.
I'm from Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. I moved to Rohnert Park because I'm gay, and I met this awesome guy at the time. So I moved here. We were living together for 7 years. Then I got kicked from my place because I couldn't afford the rent.
But when I came here from Idaho, that's where I came from, because my brother was here, and I decided to come and see my brother, man, because I've never left Idaho for a long time, you know, so for like 20-something years or more, and I decided I need to go do something different. And I just fell into like some little pit holes or whatever you want to call it that I didn't expect, you know what I mean? But
I've been homeless for 8 years, moving around from here to there.
About 10 years now, and I hate to say it, but it's easy to be homeless here, you know what I mean? And that's because even when you don't have people giving you stuff and helping you, I mean, you could still get what you need without hurting nobody, you know what I mean? And that's what I did.
Before coming here, we have to move very often, which was tiredness and a lot of hassle to, move my things. Now I have 2 dogs, it makes it more harder.
Many people coming in are in a state of uncertainty and crisis. They've been on the street or in a loud congregate shelter. They've been worried about their things being stolen, where they're going to get their next meal, how to use the bathroom, how to stay safe.
Some of the people, some of the homeless will steal from you. And so basically, if I was going to go out, do something like go and fly a sign, like they call it the panhandling, I will take my most valuable with me and leave whatever I say, like, okay, I can replace that, Yeah, and the danger, sometimes it's dangerous to be out there. They will bully other people. I don't like that.
They're coming to a space that is quiet, as you can see. There's privacy with a door that locks, and it takes time for that to kind of take hold and set in with people.
I was a little bit nervous to be here. I didn't know what to expect at first because, you don't know what you're gonna have, you don't know what is gonna happen.
They're like, roll your stuff up, man, because you're going over there, and I was like, I was pretty happy about that, because it's better than living in a tent city, They have everything I need here to make it happen if I wanted to, whatever that is, So it's like I don't have to worry about how I'm gonna wash my clothes. I don't have to worry about if I'm gonna be able to take a shower for the next week or so, or how I'm gonna wash myself or whatever, or shave without people looking at me all the time or whatever, And I really like that, So,
we do our best to engage. We do our best to support and work with people so that they can rebuild their skill set so that when they are permanently placed in housing, they can stay there.
But now I feel more comfortable. They know me by my name, so it makes you feel like home.
And there's nothing but positives here. It's like food and shelter.
There is heat here, there is showers, which we didn't have that outside, which is a lot of help with that.
And I just like knowing that I can go in my room and close the door and lay down, man, you know what I mean?
Don't have to move. I don't have to worry about moving. I do have to move in a certain time, but no like every week or every other day.
Well, it just felt like I lived in 2 worlds, basically, There's the world outside of being homeless, which is everybody else, you know what I mean? And then there's my world, which is homeless people, but I just, I never wanted to be totally separated from the world, because, I don't want people to look at me and think they got me figured out because they saw all these other people doing this stuff over here, you know what I mean?
I hope that this type of project is the interim step for us. I hope it's the step that can get people off the streets and somewhere safe, so our neighborhoods will be safe and clean for everybody who inhabits them. And also that for a group of people, this might be a longer-term solution. We have seniors that have been priced out of their community because they can't afford the cost of rising rent. This is a beautiful location for somebody who might need additional supports or not able to, cook all of their own meals and function on their own completely. Or, as in my situation, a transitional age youth or young adult whose home is no longer safe, or maybe they've aged out of foster care and they need a safe and dignified place to live to launch their life from. This is a beautiful site for that. And I would think would create a sense of hope and community for those people.
welcome to your home. This is the place that you can call home, your interim housing, until you move forward to your future. I believed in you, and everybody that worked into this project believe in you. You are worth it. Welcome home.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.